there they are already. 1, 2, 3 billy goats, Gruff.
Books and stories are a central part of this school's curriculum.
Once upon a time, in a land beyond the high mountains and over the sea, there were 3 billy goats who lived on a rocky hillside. There was a big billy goat,
a medium-sized,
and a medium-sized billy goat, and a baby billy goat. And they were all named Gruff. We plan in advance the sorts of books that we're going to look at and why we're going to look at them for particular groups of children. The 3 billy goats Gruff had always lived on the hillside, and every day they did nothing but eat from morning till night. The other goats who lived there were happy to eat the rough grass that grew between the stones, and the moss that grew on the rocks, and the leaves and the twigs that grew on the trees. But the 3 billy goats Gruff wanted more. Look, Tamina, can you see them all sleeping? Fast asleep there.
Nikki reads to the children often during the day. Here she's chosen a traditional story, which some of the children will revisit later in their play.
The other side of the river, and eating until they were fat.
Now what, Nikki? The big one's on the middle one and the big one's on the bridge.
Yep, they are. There's a picture of them there, and when they're sleeping. But the bridge was the only way across the river, which was deep and fast-flowing. And under the bridge lived a
troll. Why are the trolls going to eat them?
I don't know. It just says he was frightening to look at, as he was fierce and would gobble up anyone who tried to cross to the other side.
Trip, trap, trip, trap.
Nikki provides different opportunities for children to reenact stories through play. It's one very important way in which they make them their own.
Dropping, dripping, dropping over my bridge.
Wonder who it is. Who is it?
Trip, trap, trip, trap.
Shall we see if the little billy goat Gruff is going to go across the bridge? You going to go across?
Sometimes a few props or masks are all it takes to help the children get inside the story.
Who's that dripping, dropping over my bridge? You, Heron. No, I've got to eat you. Don't eat me. Please, little boy. Very well. I'll wait for your big brother to come along. Who's that dripping drop over my bridge? Sorry, me. Little one. Help! Leave my brother alone. Wait for that. Leave my brother alone. Got it. No, you. Oh, I'm going to see what's going on. I knocked your house down. No.
Adults are very carefully recording what the children are doing and are very carefully noting down on post-it notes, making observations about what children are doing, what they're learning, how they're learning, what strategies they're using in their play. All the information gathered on an individual child is recorded in the individual child's file. And I regularly go back through those observations because obviously I can't be everywhere all the time. I know the children well because of the day-to-day contact, but I'm not there through all the incidental things that happen in their day, many of which are highly significant because their children are learning through play. But the staff in the class are making observations all the time. And they were all named Gruff.
The information gathered by the team is shared and used to plan further experiences.
I've been through the observation file for Andrew this term, and the observations we've got, I've found that we've got lots on many areas that he's engaging in. The creative activities, there's a lot of imaginative play, language activities. What we're lacking is observations about his writing. There's not a lot about writing in terms of observation, written, recorded evidence of what he's actually doing in the classroom.
But I have noticed when I have tried to encourage and involve him in activities with regard to writing, he's not forthcoming.
We were doing something the other day with writing the name cards, and he came along to join in. Well, he was watching more than joining in. Came and stood on the edge and watched the other children writing, but he wasn't happy to pick up a pen at all and get involved like that. I'm just wondering whether with that reluctance, whether he'd be better off if we can get him involved in something that's less permanent.
Maybe, yeah, less permanent, but I also need to include Make sure everybody's aware of this need.
Yeah, put him on the priority list for writing, but what we need to make sure is that it's maybe not the things that he feels so stressed about. So maybe not writing on paper with pens, maybe doing something like, I don't know,
activity including
chalk
drawing.
where he can rub it off.
Yeah, okay.
We could do some mark making with
Mark making in sand.
and
maybe.
finger painting, because he can make marks and make letter shapes or draw with
Mark
his fingers in
making
it.
Sand. It's probably best wet sand, isn't it?
Yeah.